Thank you. We're going to get started here in just a second, kind of get everybody going. Say thank you guys for showing up today. It's not a fun place to be. I gave y'all an update back several months ago in regards to an ongoing investigation inside of our department involving firearms, and just kind of a quick synopsis to catch everybody back up on that. In April of 23rd of 2024, agents with Homeland Security seized a firearm that was attempting to go across the border. In the course of that, investigation, it showed that that firearm was traced back to the San Angelo Police Department through an ATF surrender. As we went through that process, it was unclear how that occurred. We were able to utilize our internal affairs, did a precursor review, and found that the weapons had been turned over to the San Angelo Police Department in 2021. During the course of that, it was determined that there appeared to be criminal activity that occurred. So the Texas Rangers were contacted, and an investigation ensued. During the course of that investigation, we also ran a parallel internal affairs investigation, which is a investigation that is civil by nature. It's not criminal. We utilize Texas Rangers for criminal investigation purposes, so it helps with the police, policing the police. It's a lot better whenever you have another agency do so. That investigation concluded and was turned over to the district attorney's office I believe in December. Upon the review of our internal investigation, which is completely separate from a criminal investigation, it concluded that I'll back up a little bit. Before, I didn't tell y'all what this involved. This involved the training division of the San Angelo Police Department. That involved Lieutenant Brian Robinson, Officer Josh Loudermilk, and Officer Charles Flores. That's the three subjects that were found to be involved to some degree, each having varying levels of degrees of culpability and involvement. During the course of the Texas Ranger investigation, Lieutenant Brian Robinson resigned during the early portion of that investigation. And Officer Loudermilk and Officer Flores were placed on basically a paid leave. Administrative leave is what we call it, while we investigate to make sure what's going on. At the conclusion of our investigation, the civil process side, I came to the very apparent conclusion that Officer Loudermilk had violated policies of the San Angelo Police Department and was not appropriate to our standards. And again, I'm talking about civil and not criminal. He was indefinitely suspended in late December. He has appealed to that process, and that's within his right to do so. That is a part of the process of civil service. Everybody is given due process, and in that process still ongoing. So I can't go into just grave detail, but I did tell y'all back in, I believe it was October, that I would give you the information on the names and who was involved and where we're at. So I ran on accountability and transparency, so we're acting it out. And it's hard to be transparent whenever you know these individuals and you know that this is in itself going to cause issues. And this is not to disparage them. It's because if we're going to be truly open to the public and be real with the public about what we're doing, then we have to do stuff just like this. So as that progresses, I will say that the Texas Attorney General's office has reviewed the case and going to be accepting a case for Josh Loudermilk. That does not mean that he's guilty. That does not mean he'll be arrested. It means that they're taking the responsibility of what the local district attorney's office would do. I'll make that very clear. During the course of the investigation, we could see different levels of culpability, meaning there's different levels of responsibility of who was involved in this. And Officer Charles Flores had culpability, but I believe not to the level that deserved termination. In lieu of suspension indefinitely, he was given a 90-day suspension that he accepted. That's a suspension without pay. And through this process, we have done an inventory of the training division. and show that we have everything else. We have new staff in there. Some new procedures are in place to make sure this never happens again. And I want to make it clear that this is something that took place long before I took office, and it's not something that I wanted to have being a part of my first 6-7 months. But we will take it on in stride and move forward as a department and as a community. When it comes to any further criminal, I don't have really much I can add to that. I know you'll have questions on that. It's not something that I'm at liberty really to talk about. The Texas Attorney General, I'm sure, will have their opinions and thoughts, and we'll have to go through the Public Information Officer. What we concluded was our own civil investigation, and also that we were not involved in smuggling these weapons. It was through a process that they were relinquished inappropriately, but there's no connection to the federal investigation and ours. I want to make that very clear. I know last time we kind of talked about that, but I want to make it super clear that the guns going across the border and how they got there, we're not connected with that. What we did was we had some violations that we dealt with where those guns were sold at a gun show in Midland, Texas, I believe. So make that clear. And I will go in with questions. In regards to what part? Yes, sir. Not that we know of. I would be straightforward and transparent. Is that there's 2 weapons that we have listed as being stolen that are currently still being investigated, and leads have kind of slowed on that. As soon as that could come up in 5 days or 5 years. I mean, we never know when that's going to happen. But as of right now, none of them were involved in that.
So just to be clear, the officers that you named that either resigned or pushed on leave, resigned from the civil case and
Yeah, and that's why it's so important to understand, because the due process, the civil process, is what we do. So like when we're talking about Civil Service Commission, right, that's in the name, we do a civil investigation to conclude whether or not there's violation of rules of the San-Angelo Police Department, which is separate than that of criminal aspect. I'm not saying that there's not criminal, but I'm also not going to speak on the criminal because we did not do the criminal. Criminal investigation was done by the Texas Rangers and then turned over to the District Attorney's Office, and the District Attorney's Office forwarded that to the Texas Attorney General. If there's any further investigation to be done, the Texas Attorney General would be responsible in that regard. And so I can't really speak to what will happen or not happen. It is my understanding, yeah. It's been reviewed by them already, and they said they were going to accept the case. Okay. Yes, ma'am. So I'll get you the exact date. It was the 3rd week of December for Josh Latimer, and his was an indefinite suspension. And the suspension for Officer Blue Flores started yesterday, and it will go for 90 days. Yeah, I can go to some degree. Is that the weapons were voluntarily surrendered through an ATF. So when you have a license, Walmart had that and had some weapons that had some issues with those weapons, and so they can't sell them, so they turned them over to police. And the police have the option of either using them for internal use or destroying them. And in this case, some procedural things did not occur, and they were given to the training division without any real oversight. They were left in the training division where during that time frame, the weapons were turned over to 2 officers. You know, I think there was an environment issue, and I think there was a lack of supervision that occurred, and there's some responsibility there. But again, that's once an employee separates from us, we don't have any say over that. The criminal has concluded, and one person was listed as a suspect in that case for the Texas Rangers. If any, I want to make it very clear to the public and anybody else, and I'd like this to be highlighted in any articles that you may have. If at any time these weapons that are still missing, if they come up, we will not hesitate to take appropriate action. And anybody else that might be involved in this, I guarantee you, we're not going to let this be something that is just gone with the wind. And I think by my very actions of being here, back in October, I said I would do something, and here I am saying it, we're doing it. Even though it's uncomfortable and it's not fun, we're going to do it. And my heart goes out to everybody involved, because this is a terrible tragedy, a loss of trust, and all sorts of things. But I can tell you, from here on out, we got protocols in place, and we're making sure that this will never happen again. And so I want that. I think that's important. All right. I want to thank y'all guys for being here. Any other releases on this, I think will be done by the Attorney General. So I'd like to say at this point, we have done what we need to do and done our due diligence. And but if you have any other questions that might be related to what we talked about today, there will be a paper release that will be this afternoon. Sorry, I was working on it and didn't get it done in time. So we'll get that out to y'all this afternoon. Thank you so much, guys. God bless.